What's going on, TikTok? For anybody that doesn't know my story, in April of 1995, at the age of 15, I was arrested for my part in a crime. I was ultimately sentenced to life without parole and was never supposed to get out of prison. I was supposed to be buried in those walls. I served 24 years before the then governor of Colorado granted me clemency, and I was released July 1st of 2019. My story has been told on A&E series Kids Behind Bars. That would be season 1, episode 2. Even after doing that, I've had a lot of people ask me, why don't you share your story? Go into the things that Kids Behind Bars didn't do. Talk about your experiences of literally growing up in prison. And I've decided that I'm going to do that. But before I do that, I wanted to cover a couple of things, a couple of questions that I get asked a lot by people. The first question is, what was it like to spend 24 years in prison? I don't know how to answer that for you. For anybody that has never had their life taken away from them for a stupid ass mistake that they made, had to wake up day after day, year after year, within those walls, within the confines of what all of that means, there's no way I can put that in context for you. There's nothing that I can compare it to make you understand. All I can say is that it's like being in prison for 24 years. The other question that I get a lot is, in your time there, have you ever seen anybody stabbed? Did you see anybody get killed? Don't do that. There's nothing glorious about seeing another person have their life taken from them. Seeing another person have a group of people decide that they were going to attack him, and there's shit that he can do to defend himself, not against a group. I will never be one of those people that's going to sit up here and try to glorify the shit that goes on in prison. I am not going to sit up here and try to pound my chest and talk about the things that I've seen. I will talk about the experiences that I've had, what it was like for me going in, the fears that I faced, because they were true. And the context of what it all ultimately meant for me becoming a man. The one thing that I will point out is that a lot of people know prison from TV and from movies and the sensational way that they present it. That is not prison. A lot of people think that prison is a predator-prey environment, when the reality is it's more of a prey-prey environment, and everybody's trying to make sure they don't become that man on the bottom of the totem pole, because that's not fun and that doesn't stop. The day you run from something in prison, you run for the rest of your lives, because you got a lot of people that want to stand on your shoulders to make themselves look taller. But we'll go into detail with all of that, and I will talk about my story, my life, and my growth.